And we begin with breaking news tonight. One man shot, two possible crime scene locations. I'm Myra Arthur.
And I'm John Paul Barajas. There's two law enforcement agencies investigating tonight, adding to the two scenes. We start off where investigators believe the shooting may have happened. The Pockets Pool Hall near 410 and Bandera Road. San Antonio police say they received a shots fired call for this location.
And then shortly after, they received a call for someone with a gunshot wound at the QT gas station on Bandera Road, just around the corner. Leon Valley police say the victim was dropped off here after he was shot at that pool hall. San Antonio police say they're still trying to piece together what happened, but that victim is expected to survive. A teacher behind bars tonight waiting to see a judge. Joe Rodriguez facing charges of indecency with a child and improper relations. A mugshot has not been released at this point, but he is listed as part of the Fine Arts Department for Poteet High School. The Pleasanton Express identifying Rodriguez as the Poteet High School band director.
Atascosa County Sheriff David Soward said Rodriguez turned himself over to authorities around 5:30 this afternoon after two warrants were issued. He's expected to see a magistrate judge tomorrow morning. This case involves the Texas Rangers. It's been a week since heavy rain and floodwaters swept away and submerged two cars in St. Hedwig. First responders were called to the high water rescue, saving 5 lives, but 2 didn't make it. A 52-year-old woman and a 5-year-old girl. Family, friends, and the St. Hedwig community came together to hold a prayer vigil for 5-year-old Alyssa Lehman. Tears poured out from everyone in attendance, from adults to her young friends who will no longer see Alyssa in class. Tonight, we got to hear from her parents for the first time.
My baby is very loved. I miss her. I'm gonna miss her coming home from school every day. Just happy.
With y'all support, y'all are helping us get through these tough times. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all do.
The tragedy took place off of Greytown Road and FM 1518 at a low water crossing around 6:30 in the morning on October 14th. People who live in the area, as well as Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar, don't believe any barriers were up at the time to stop them from driving through.
Another step forward to getting additional booster shots. Vaccine advisors to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are recommending booster doses of both Moderna and Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccines. It will be now up to the CDC director to accept or modify that committee's recommendations. The CDC will also issue its own detailed guidance. That's expected to include whether people can mix and match vaccines. Tonight's vote follows the FDA endorsing the same recommendations.
An event honoring the human rights activists who saved hundreds of people during the Rwandan genocide held in San Antonio. Paul Rusesabagina made the Alamo City his home along with his family before he was kidnapped during a business trip last year. Tonight's fundraiser at Legacy Park included a screening of Hotel Rwanda, which depicted his life-saving efforts. Rusesabagina's son says he's proud of his father, describing him as selfless, though it's a quality that comes with challenges.
You know, when I was a kid, I wanted my father to be my own father, but he was everybody's father. And as I grew up, I understood why he needed to be that, because if he wasn't going to do it, not many people would. And I think that's part of being selfless, that there's more, there's more to life than you. And my father taught me that.
Family and human rights organizations continue to call on the Rwandan president to free Rusesabagina. One man stabbed in broad daylight. Tonight, investigators say the suspect they arrested in the case said he did it because it, quote, made him feel good. It's a story we first brought you yesterday. The 50-year-old victim stabbed during a jog on Hidden Terrace near Marbach Road and Loop 1604. He is expected to make a full recovery. 23-year-old Aldo Martinez Rios is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. An arrest warrant affidavit states someone in the area recognized him and identified him. Bexar County deputies add the investigation led them to a home where clothes similar to those in the video were found, along with 2 knives, one of which appeared to have blood on it.
We have a little more than a week left of early voting, potential changes to the Texas Constitution, special elections, and options for bonds. All issues voters will be facing at the polls. Some of those proposals involve what's being described as the second fastest growing school district in the entire nation. As the Night Team's Japhanie Gray reports, Comal ISD hoping that voters approve a multi-million-dollar proposal to add school buildings, make upgrades, and impact salaries.
I'm never really happy with increased taxes, that's for sure. It's about the future, not only our kids, but of our town.
Different voters.
I think that it's needed.
I unfortunately think that the bond is too high.
And different opinions about Propositions A through E on the voting ballot. The goal, improving the Comal Independent School District.
We're adding about 1,000 new students per year.
So here's how they hope to do that. Proposition A is a voter-approved tax ratification election. If approved, the maintenance and operations tax rate will increase by less than 2 cents. The average home value in Comal County is $355,000, so your property tax bill will increase by $168 per year. That money will go toward a 3% salary increase for teachers and staff, a $1.50 increase for hourly employees, and it would add more jobs.
We'll actually generate funding to provide that 3% annual increase for the next 3 to 4 years.
We need teachers that are wanting to be here, that feel like they are appreciated.
Proposition B through E are all bonds, an estimated total of $527 million. Each bond targets specific projects. Proposition B is estimated to cost $411.3 million. It would add 2 elementary schools, a new middle school, and a Hill Country College Prep High School. It would also tackle the purchase of more land, 85 school buses, and other infrastructure projects. Proposition C is estimated to cost around $61.4 million. It will fund recreational things like athletic fields, weight rooms, etc. Proposition D is estimated to cost $20.3 million. It will fund stadium capacity expansion to 5,000 seats for 2 high schools. It also includes adding press boxes.
That should not necessarily be a taxpayer topic.
Proposition E runs approximately $34.5 million, and it will be geared toward improving instructional technology. Japhanie Gray, KSAT 12 News.
A lot to consider on the ballot. If Prop A passes, teachers and staff at Comal ISD could expect to see an immediate increase in pay. The bond projects will take some time, though, to start if they are approved. Early voting already underway, runs through next Friday, October 29th, then Election Day is November 2nd. You can take a look at some of the other proposals or take a look at the bonds for Comal ISD, what we just covered here, right now on our website at KSAT.com.
The future of one of San Antonio's iconic water parks depends on a new deal. Cavender Auto Dealership hoping to expand and buy the land there. Bobby Cavender told San Antonio City Council the water park's owner is retiring. Council members already approved a zoning change that would allow for a dealership to be built on the Splashtown property off of I-35. The water park closed for the season last month. We're still waiting for comment from Splashtown's management.
The San Antonio City Council approved 2 trustees to the city's utility boards today, but only after debating the process that went into choosing them. While the full council got a vote on the nominees' confirmations, only a handful were part of the subcommittee that selected the new SAWS trustee, Mary Lou Reyna. And the current CPS trustees were the ones that chose their newest member, Francine Romero. Councilman Mario Bravo, who was part of the attempts to delay each of their nominations, told KSAT that he didn't like someone picking the nominees for the council.
I wanted a more transparent process. I wanted a more inclusive process. I wanted to, one thing I campaigned on is more opportunities for meaningful public participation. I'd like to see all of those.
Reyna is filling a vacant seat on the SAWS board. Romero will take over a spot on the CPS Energy board by February. Meantime, CPS Energy will be searching for a new president and CEO. The utilities board chairman saying that the board was taken by surprise after the announcement that Paula Gold-Williams will be stepping down from that leadership position. An executive search committee is expected to be formed to find her replacement. The board is set to be getting a briefing from an attorney about that replacement process. That meeting is scheduled for Monday.
Concerns over COVID-19 and diabetes. Why doctors say the virus could also lead to a case of diabetes in someone who did not have it before.
And the FBI confirming new details in the search for Brian Laundrie, the remains identified, and what investigators are now trying to learn coming up.
And an accident turned deadly on a movie set. This after investigators say Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun. The investigation next on the Nightbeat. A deadly accident on this movie set in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Deputies say a 42-year-old woman is dead, another man injured. Investigators say it happened on the movie set of a Western called Rust. The sheriff there says producer Alec Baldwin fired the prop gun that killed a photography chief and injured the director.
The FBI confirming human remains found in a Florida nature reserve are those of Brian Laundrie, the fiance of homicide victim Gabby Petito. Her body found in Wyoming. ABC's Trevor Ault reports that Laundrie's remains were found in Florida, not far from his home.
Following a month-long nationwide manhunt, the search for Gabby Petito's boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, has come to an end at the same place that it began, here in Florida's Carlton Nature Reserve, as the FBI has now confirmed remains that were found here on Wednesday are in fact those of Brian Laundrie. Police said these remains were found next to one of Laundrie's notebooks and backpacks, but these were skeletal remains, and the FBI says they made this confirmation by comparing his dental records. Brian Laundrie is still the only named person of interest in Gabby Petito's murder. He became one of the most wanted men in the country after he returned from their cross-country road trip without her. Then Brian Laundrie missing himself just days after Gabby Petito was reported missing. And now that we know that he has been found dead in this nature reserve, we're waiting on the medical examiner to finish his autopsy so that we may learn how he died. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Venice, Florida.
Here at home, surveillance video proves to be the key to catching a suspected shooter. Police in Floresville say 25-year-old Johnny Vela was seen shooting outside a bar last week. Investigators add he was upset after he was turned away because the bar was closing. One man was shot in the arm, another man was hit in the wrist. And according to police, that victim's employment as an electrician may be impacted. Rodriguez was identified by surveillance video. He turned himself over to authorities yesterday.
Research continuing involving the coronavirus and diabetes. University Health pointing to data that shows COVID-19 complications could lead to diabetes. Dr. Brian Alsep says that COVID-19 can impact blood vessels and lead to inflammation that may damage several organs, including the pancreas. That damage could increase the chance of diabetes or make the condition worse.
And the pancreas actually has the ability to help regulate our glucose levels in our body. And so when that's disrupted, that can lead to either an exacerbation of diabetes or actually can cause diabetes in patients who hadn't had it previously.
There is already a high number of diabetes patients in Bexar County, and Dr. Alsep adds the pandemic may have created a backlog for many of those patients who put off care or screenings because of COVID.
Now to a recall alert. A salmonella outbreak under investigation. The Centers for Disease Control believes that outbreak may be linked to onions. So far, more than 650 people reported sick. 129 of those patients hospitalized across 37 states, including Texas. The CDC traced the outbreak to onions imported from Chihuahua, Mexico, and distributed by ProSource of Idaho. The CDC and FDA continue to investigate whether other onions may be involved.
Let's take a look outside with live cam tonight. 72 degrees out there now. Some mix of sun and clouds today. So how are things shaping up for the days ahead, Adam?
Well, you know, we're not going to see a huge change in what it looks like outside, but temperatures will be on the rise a little bit, and we'll have a lot of morning fog to talk about. We also have NOAA's winter weather outlook, which was issued today. Humidity, it's going to stay in place until the middle of next week. It's going to be swept away, it looks like, by next Wednesday. So if you don't like the mugginess, middle of next week, that's your time. And we're still watching for some tropical development in the days ahead in the Pacific and how that relates to our rain chances. So let's get right to it. First, a look at NOAA's winter weather outlook. And it's basically a second helping of La Nina this winter, which would favor above average temperatures here in our neck of the woods and basically across a good chunk of the nation, especially the southern U.S. Now, That said, we could still have some cold air outbreaks, but overall, above average temperatures are favored. With that is favorable conditions for below average precipitation as a result of the La Nina. That would be in our neck of the woods. Okay, let's look at rain chances in the days ahead. Pretty bleak. We're looking at 10% Saturday and Sunday. We get into Wednesday, we dropped it down to 10% for Wednesday morning. That would be a result of the remnants of the moisture from a potential tropical system in the Pacific. Now today, West Texas, that's where we had the activity. Alpine, Marfa, Big Bend National Park, Marathon, such a beautiful part of the state. They got a good soaking of rain and even some severe weather out there earlier today. The big picture, it really shows the big swirl, the big upper level system, beautiful in satellite imagery, coming onshore in the Pacific Northwest. That's the next big weather maker to move onshore and to affect the northern tier of the U.S. That's not going to make it here, but it is going to transport some much needed moisture to parts of the western United States. As a matter of fact, it's Thursday, newest drought monitor is in. Not a good situation. Utah, Idaho, westward through California, parts of Washington and Oregon. We've been there. We've been in that extreme and exceptional drought. Luckily, we're not in that position right now, but we are slightly deeper in drought than what we were this time last week. As a state, 19% of Texas considered in drought. For us locally, we're looking at areas, basically Eagle Pass to Carrizo Springs to Cotulla. That's where we have drought in our neck of the woods. Here's the big picture, though, in terms of what we were talking about last night, that weather wild card, and it's starting to come together here. A little more organization to the cloud structures and storm structures just south of Mexico. This is, of course, in the Pacific. This is a Pacific potential tropical system and very likely to become the next tropical storm or maybe even hurricane over the next couple of days. Now, as we get into next week, the remnant moisture from that is expected to cross right over Mexico and then even skim across our part of Texas here, central and south Texas. But it looks like it would be a very brief encounter with that upper moisture. Contrary to what we had from the remnants of Pamela, I don't anticipate that moisture to really make a big difference in our rain chances. At least that's what everything's pointing towards right now. Of course, we'll keep an eye on it and keep you updated, but right now I wouldn't anticipate much for rain. 63 this morning, 84 this afternoon. Of course, it's humid out there. Dew points in the 60s. I mentioned we won't have a break from the humidity until the middle of next week on Wednesday. Temperatures, 60s hill country right now. Even New Braunfels 69, Kennedy 71, 74 in Uvalde. You get to Bulverde at 66. Converse right now at 69. And tomorrow morning, most of us in the mid 60s, areas of fog, and then a mixture of sun and clouds again. Variable cloud cover throughout the day tomorrow. Mid 80s for a high temperature, which is a little above average, but we're going to be record challenging by Monday. 90 degrees, and the record that day is 91, and a little drop in the temperatures late next week.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Well, not a lot of rain working, but what do we got working in sports, Greg?
Well, we have a lot of games. There's big game coverage Thursday, high school football under the lights tonight. When we come back, we'll let you know how several teams did this evening, including the Clemens Buffaloes and the Wagner's Thunderbirds, and UTSA changing conferences when we come back. Our big game coverage kicks off tonight at Rutledge Stadium, where the Clemens Buffaloes trying to get into that playoff picture. We're visiting the Wagner Thunderbirds. Game time is 7 in the third. Thunderbirds in great position to take the lead on the Clemens 16-yard line. The T-Birds stay on the ground, running the option to Markel Ford. Gets the pitch, and he goes down the side, gets pushed out of the 6. 2 plays later, the sweep toss will go to Joshua Colaza, who is coming right at you, fighting his way in the end zone for the touchdown. The lead 14-7, the final from Converse, 35-7. Wagner takes it. The Holmes Huskies trying to keep their playoff hopes alive with just 3 games left in the regular season, but they needed to win tonight against the Warren Warriors, and they get off to a great start. Quarterback Christopher Menelez drops back, fires to a wide open Nathan Gonzalez on the first possession. He sprints to Pater, 84 yards to the touchdown, makes it 7-0. Final from Ferris. Holmes takes it 38-21. Harvest Moon over Alamo Stadium tonight. Edison up 13-3 over Brackenridge. When we arrive at the rock pile, the Eagles are not letting the Bears run away with this one. Quarterback Richard Lopez on the play action pass zips it to Brandon Garcia right up the seam for the 11-yard touchdown. Brackenridge only down 3, 13-10. Let's go to the big game coverage scoreboard right now to find out that final. Brackenridge hangs on for the victory, 24-19. Southside on the road, and Laredo taking that game against Figueroa, 22-18. The UTSA Roadrunners are making a move. They are leaving Conference USA, headed to the American Athletic Conference, along with 5 other teams, including Rice and North Texas. The move is for money, more TV revenue to be exact, millions of dollars in the AAC versus thousands of dollars in Conference USA. And what put this all in motion was when the Texas Longhorns, the Oklahoma Sooners, moved to the SEC. That means the Big 12 had to find replacements for the Longhorns and Sooners. They convinced Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF to lead the AAC, leaving openings at UTSA and other Conference USA teams jumped at. And while no date has been given for the Roadrunners to begin play in the AAC, most speculate it will be in 2023.
Can't get into specifics of the ESPN deal, but absolutely to be on, Lanier, to have the host of ESPN packages, to have our sports, and this is broad. It's a broad range, right? It's all of our sports that will have that exposure, so that is huge for us. Obviously, this made financial sense for UTSA.
There you go. The move comes after the Roadrunners have set a school record by winning their first 7 games this season, have been nationally ranked for the first time in school history at number 24, the AP poll, number 25 in the coaches poll.
It's a step up, there's no doubt, of the commitment level, and due to the success we've had, our players are what put us in this position. Our players have been fantastic since December 2019, and they continue to be fantastic. So we're going to have to help get those guys what they need to do, because we're going to play Memphis and those kind of guys every week now, not just occasionally.
That's right. Now, Coach Traylor is hoping today's big announcement does not serve as a distraction for his team, and is trying to win their first game in Ruston when they face Louisiana Tech this Saturday at 6. The family of Jake Ellinger, the Texas linebacker who passed away last May, revealed his cause of death today. It was an accidental overdose of what they believe is Xanax laced with fentanyl. Ellinger is a younger brother of former Texas quarterback and current Colts quarterback Sam Ellinger, who was found unresponsive and died at the age of 20. The family said the spread of counterfeit pills is an ongoing significant issue throughout our country, particularly in schools and colleges and universities. The statement went on to say, "We felt it was important to share these details with the hope that Jake will not have died in vain. We pray Jake's story will help shed light on this problem and prevent other families from also tragically losing a loved one." Our San Antonio Spurs are in Denver tonight before facing Nuggets tomorrow in the first road test of the regular season. That's after they pass their opening night in the AT&T Center against the Orlando Magic with flying colors, a 123-97 victory that featured a 20-5 run to close out the third quarter on Devin Vassell's buzzer-beating three-pointer. Vassell would score a career-high 19 points as one of 7 Spurs and Denver figures in this very balanced attack. Even 18-year-old rookie and first-round draft pick Joshua Primo got 5 minutes of playing time in his first-ever NBA game.
I was a little bit nervous. Palms got a little bit sweaty. But coming in there, you just got to play basketball at the end of the day. So when you get out there, you're guarding the ball, you catch the ball, it's what you've done all your life. So it's easy at that point.
Barely looks 16, doesn't he? All right, here's the matchup. Spurs in Denver tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And the last 25 of the top 75 players in NBA history to celebrate the league's 75th anniversary announced today. And among them are former Spur Dennis Rodman. Rodman won 2 titles with the Detroit Pistons before suiting up for the Spurs from 1993 to 95. Also making the list, the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins, a 9-time NBA All-Star who suited up for the Spurs for 1 year, 96 to 97. Kawhi Leonard, who helped the Spurs win their 2014 title. Among those left off the list, Manu Ginobili. Among the voters, both Spurs head coach Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan. I can't tell you how much fun I had when Dominique Wilkins was here with the Spurs doing broadcasting games with Dominique. I'm sitting right next to the human highlight film. Right.
That's pretty awesome.
It was awesome. You ever ask him about that dunk contest he lost to MJ?
Yeah, he should never have lost that.
All right, thanks, guys.
We'll be right back.
Some morning fog basically tomorrow all the way through Tuesday. So pretty much every morning through early next week. Temperatures warming up a bit, upper 80s and right around 90s Sunday and Monday. As for rain chances, 10% chance here and there. That's Saturday, Sunday, and then again into early Wednesday morning. But if you don't like the humidity, Myra, it's gone by next Wednesday.
All right, come on next Wednesday.
That does it for the Night Beat. Don't forget, Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30.
Have a good night.